What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Candid Racing Podcast. I'm here with this week's guest, Hoyt Partain and Brady Cornett. Also want to thank Mike's Wholesale Flooring for sponsoring this podcast. But get in, talk to Brady first. Brady, just tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of what got you into racing.
My name's Brady. I'm from Franklin County. I don't know. I've just been in racing my whole life. My dad and my grandpa's owned cars, and we've had a lot of people drive for us. And one day I just decided that I wanted to get into it and try it out. And ever since then, I've just been kind of addicted to it.
I hear you. What about you, Hoyt?
I don't know. It kind of started out as basically the same thing he said. I've had race cars since I've been born. Been going to the racetrack since I've been born. I don't know. I kind of just got into it.
Kind of want to talk a little bit. I know you started out, Brady, in 602 class. How has it been changing from 602 to the limited?
The difference is really just like you got to get used to the more horsepower. You really got 602. You got to be on it the whole time. Limited, you got to be on it, and then right there at the feature, you kind of got to back off a little bit. You can really feel the car a lot more in limited. 602, you just feel like you're really tight all the time, but limited, you can actually feel it a lot more.
Okay. Did you start in 602, or have you been in 602, or did you start in something else?
I started in 4-cylinder.
Okay. So how is racing in 4-cylinder compared to 602 car?
It's a world of difference. Going from a 4-cylinder to a 4-bar car, a big change. Took me a while to get used to it.
Gotcha.
And I still ain't got the hang of it yet, but I'm getting it.
You learn. You're not doing too bad.
No, not really.
Now, what's been, for you, Brady, what's been one of your favorite memories? I know you haven't been racing extremely long, but since you've been racing, what's been one of your favorite memories?
My favorite memory has got to be, I'd say, going to Charlotte this year, going and racing at Charlotte this year. The experience of 50-plus race cars being there and coming out, having a top 5 finish out of 50 of the best 602 cars in the country. That was definitely a confidence booster. But my favorite win, if we're gonna go that way, would probably be Tacoma, the Thunder Series. According right now, Thunder Series ain't really a series no more. So I guess I am the youngest person ever won a Thunder Series race.
Well, that's awesome. For you, Hoyt, what's been one of your favorite memories? It could be 4-cylinder, 602, or just for racing memory in general.
I don't know. It had to be probably when my brother drove Paul Byram's car, and he was talking a little bit, talking a little bit of smack, saying he's going to beat me this and that. I think I qualified on the front row that night. He qualified like 10th, so that was definitely one of my favorite parts about that.
Oh, yeah.
We talk smack to each other, even if we're racing against each other.
Oh, yeah, that's a sibling rivalry.
Yeah. But if we go on wins, it probably have to be my first ever win in a car. It was at Livonia. I can't even remember. I think it was either 2018 or 19, because I raced a little bit in 18, and I raced a full year in 19, and then I got in the late model in 20. But that has to be my favorite one, because first one is always memorable.
Oh, yeah. So I'm gonna go back to you, Brady. What has the competition compared to 602 and limited been like? Has it been tougher, easier? What's your? I know you haven't raced a full year in limited, but so far, what have you noticed?
They're really about the same. Just 602, everybody's like right there. You can go to Livonia Saturday night. Say you run 602, you can be on the pole, and then you could also be 12th with just half a tenth off. I mean, everybody's so close nowadays. The competition is really stiff. I will go against anybody. Around our area, we have probably 15 drivers that I can name that you can put them in a limited car when they get or a super car when they get a little more experience and go compete on a national level. I really believe that.
Got you. What about? I know it's probably a huge difference from 4-cylinder to 602. Has that been competition gotten harder?
Yeah, like Brady said, everybody's tight. You can fight on competition times, everything. You can go to Livonia on Saturday night. You can be just snapping a finger off and you're 12. It's very hard.
Oh yeah, sure. Are you enjoying it so far though? How long have you been racing a 602 car for?
4 years, I think.
4 years. Okay. So yeah, you're getting up there. I mean, I so I kind of know Brady. I just seen him race, so I knew him. I knew his name. Then I got his Snapchat or something, and that sounds really weird. But anyways, I this is my first time meeting Hoyt, so as much as y'all are learning about him, I'm learning about him too. So probably getting to know him a good bit in this podcast. So I want to keep it with you. Just kind of give us a little bit about yourself, some hobbies, stuff like that, and just because the purpose of this is just to give fans of the racers just a backstory on them and get to know them a little bit better.
I don't really know. Probably my favorite thing to do is, I guess, drive race car would be it, but I don't really do anything else besides work and race. I mean, that's pretty much all I do. I don't really do anything else.
So, that ain't a bad thing.
No, not really.
What about you, Brady? Just a little backstory on yourself.
I'm the same way as Hoyt. Race, and race more. That's really all. I don't know. I play baseball a little bit too. Other than that, once baseball season over with, it goes into racing season.
So, what's one thing, Hoyt, in the future, like your racing career, that you're wanting to make, like that next step, or what's something you're looking forward to?
I really don't know. I just kind of go with the flow.
Okay. Any races or anything that you're wanting to race in that 602, a big race that you're like, I'd like to be in that. That'd be fun.
I mean, not really. I don't really look for big races because we really ain't got time to go to them. But I don't know. I think probably the biggest thing I want to do is be on the national level. Probably really about what anybody wants to do.
Oh yeah.
But that's probably about it. I really don't look for races to go to or nothing. We just kind of
go with the flow.
Kind of go when we can.
I hear you. What about you, Brady? What's one thing you're looking forward to in the future?
I really don't know. I mean, racing around here is like around this part is really more of a family thing than it is competitively. I mean, yeah, I'm competitive. I want to win. It's like everybody's dream goal when they start racing is go race for a national level. And if that opportunity ever comes around, heck yeah, I take it. But if not, I'm fine just being your average weekend warrior.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, that's what I tell everybody. As soon if I see you there, I'm like, the first time you race, you're limited. I was like, I mean, I know Brady killed it in 602. I was like, I'm assuming he's gonna have a great car for limited. And after you won the first race, anytime I see you, I'll tell somebody I talk. I'm like, well, Brady's gonna win tonight. You've started. I don't know. You kill it. You're doing great. For as young as you are, it's rare that people as young as you are as good as you are.
Yeah, people tell me that all the time, but like, I'm so competitive. I want to win every daggone race. And when I have bad nights, I'm not the type that gets so mad, you throw stuff. I just get frustrated with myself, beat myself up a little bit. But I mean, I get it. I'm young. I'm racing with people that's got 10 times more experience than me. But if you got the competitive side in you, you want to win every weekend.
Oh yeah. Now, what has been or who has been the favorite driver you went up against? What, like the one driver, or just that you raced with, maybe not even that you went up against them, competing for a spot or anything. It was just you. They were in the race with you, and you're like, oh, that's cool.
It probably had to be my brother-in-law. Okay, it was at Hartwell one night. We was on the front row together, and we went and turned one. We got together. He spun, but that's probably probably the favorite person I raced against because me and him talk a lot of smack too. Whenever he was racing, we talked a lot of smack. We qualified on the front row. We was talking back and forth. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna won't be in second, whatever.
Oh yeah.
But it didn't plan out the way that I wanted it to plan out or go, but it is what it is.
Yeah. What about you, Brady? Having to rack your brain, ain't you?
Yeah. I ran Lawrence a couple weekends ago. I ran side by side with Zach Mitchell for like 5 or so laps, and that was pretty cool racing against somebody that goes out and travels for a living, super racing, and they dominate wherever they go, usually super racing. So that's pretty cool running them.
Oh, that's awesome. So, kind of want to turn now to just some stories about, say, like your 4-cylinder days. I want to kind of, and then I want to talk about your 602 days. Just what it was like week in, week out, like preparing the car, all this and that. Just give us a backstory on 4-cylinder and what it was and how it propelled you to want to do the 602.
I really, there ain't really that much to do to a 4-cylinder every week as they is to a 602 or a late model.
Oh,
Just kind of went. Whenever I was starting out, just kind of went. Didn't really expect anything out of it. Not too much, but obviously we wanted to win. But,
oh yeah.
You start learning, it don't always go that way. But there really wasn't much to that. But there really wasn't that much to it. But stepping over into a late model, you got a lot more to do.
Oh yeah.
It takes me basically all week to get ready because I don't get to work on it for about 1-2 hours at a time. Getting the car ready and then doing tires, and you got to do body work, and it takes a little while. So sometimes I call my buddies up. I got a lot to do. Get them to come. We'll knock it out tonight. And then we're ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Back to you, Brady. What's been your favorite, like, just 602? What all went into it, and how was it? How was racing 602? And I know you still race it every once in a while, but
602. Once you go to limited, 602, you're like, forget it. 602 is so boring now that I don't win the limited. It's just so slow. But quick story, my first ever race. Boy, he remembers this. My first ever race was the Georgia State race, 2020, I think, 2021, something like that. It was cool. I go down there. I think I qualified second. Hoyt qualifies third. So we start the heat race side by side here, and we're just over here racing door to door, beating each other. And then in the feature, we do it again over and over. That's fun to be able to race with your buddies like that. Be able to race with your buddies like that, and not have to worry about getting killed and wrecked and whatever. But on like the working side of it, as long as you like don't tear nothing up that week, there's a lot more work that goes into it than I won a couple weeks ago at Tacoma, and
I heard are you talking about when you blew up?
yeah.
I ain't never seen the whole people behind you. Everybody slowed down.
Yeah. I was coming to the white flag. I was hoping they thought the checker was out. Like I was just pumping around. That thing was boom, 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 boom. But yeah, like that, you gotta pull a motor out that week and then put another one in. But like maintenance is really the main key of being successful and fast, and setup, shots, everything. Like it's like even if you don't win that week, or even if you win that week, you're still looking for ways to get faster and faster and faster each week because the guys that run behind you, they're getting faster. So you got to get faster. So I mean, it's a lot of work. It's like Hoyt said, it's an all week thing.
Now, who are some of the people that help you get to the race week in and week out?
Probably has to be obviously my dad. He's probably the biggest person in all of what I do. But probably my dad, a couple of my buddies, Miles, Jake, Case, my brother Adam. That's the main people. But at the racetrack, we have a lot more people that come. Sponsors, just get help, whatever. So it's nice at the racetrack because I really don't have to do anything.
You just gotta drive.
Yeah, that's the nicest part because Miles, Look, I actually got his hat on. But he does a lot for me at the racetrack. He pretty much does anything from taking wheel covers off, buffing tires, putting them back on. He does a good bit of everything. Case does a lot too, but Dad, he does most of the important stuff.
Oh yeah. I do want to ask, what was the is there a meaning behind your number or anything, or is it just you like,
Kind of. I mean, it was my grandpa's old rap or number, but now I run his old raps throwback. But this is the second year on it, and there's a good meaning behind that. It was just gonna do a throwback one year, and Dad liked it so much, wanted to do it again. But the number comes from Granddad. He started. I don't really remember what year he started in, but it's back in the 1980s, something like that, maybe.
oh yeah, y'all been around it a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while, but the number comes from him, and the rap comes from him from this year. But I mean, it's got an H beside it, so it's a little change up. But my brother runs just plain 87, so we're gonna throw in a little something different just in case for one day.
What about you, Brady? Who helped you get to the track week in and week out?
Mainly it's just me and my dad at the shop. You know, sometimes my brother and a couple of my buddies will come help me on if I have just little things to do. But the big important things, like what Hoyt said, my dad, that's the crew chief. He knows everything about it. He does most of it. Then at the races, we got my brother, my sister-in-law, my sister Matt. I got really two crew chiefs at the race that knows things. I got Matt, my dad. You know, they're real smart. They know what to do. When I say something's wrong, they help me out a lot. Just a lot of sponsors that help us too. They come support sometimes. It's like I said earlier. It's just a family thing. Like if it wasn't for my family, I wouldn't have done it.
Yes, I understand that. Is there a meaning behind your number, or is it just was like,
Well, my number used to be 22 when I played baseball and stuff, and always growing up racing, all I remember is 2. And then I got this. Charles asked me this question on the camp show one night, and I went back and asked my grandpa and stuff. And so my grandpa's brother, which is Cody's grandfather, Cody Christian, it's his grandfather. He ran the 2. And when my grandpa bought his car, they just had 2 decals laying around, so my grandpa put 2 on it. It's just stuck ever since.
I got you. So, gonna keep it talking about family, people that get you in the track. For you, Hoyt, who's like your hero or your role model or your inspiration behind, like, there that one person like you made you want to race, or one person you look up to?
Probably, I'd say it has to be Jonathan Davenport. That's my favorite driver of all time. I've talked to him before when I met him at Barry Wright when he was driving for him.
How was that?
I was a little nervous because I used to be very shy back then, so I didn't really want to talk or look at him. I just knew I was there. He was there. It just kind of worked out for me to meet him. And I wish I could talk to him now since I know more about it and maybe learn some stuff from him.
Oh yeah, he's the best. Well, technically Ricky Thornton is if you look at the rankings. Yeah, but Jonathan's he's a legend. I feel like you can say now. He's awesome. What about you, Brady?
I go with Bloomer. Scott Bloomquist. I mean, he's the GOAT, all-time best. But
it's sad about it.
Yeah. Bloomer and JD. JD used to drive for David Smith, and my dad and David big buddies. So I've met that Jonathan a couple times and talked to him, and somebody around our area that races and does as good as he does. It's kind of looks up like, yeah, we can do this. You can race at our tracks, you can do this.
Oh yeah. Now, I know I've heard. Just kind of give me a backstory on the family, because I mean, I've heard of the Cornett family in racing for a while. Yeah. And I know you, but I wasn't around racing and really didn't get into it and know anything about it. I just want to kind of learn a little bit about your family's history in racing as well.
Yeah, it really started off with my grandpa. He was wanting to race, and then when my mom and dad got together, my dad got into it, and my grandpa he moved to Nashville. He worked construction and stuff, and so when he moved to Nashville, he gave everything to my dad, and my dad just started working on it. My dad never really liked racing. We had drivers like David Smith, Colby Cannon, Frankie Beard. Frankie he drove for us for a long time, 15 years. Parker Heron, J.R. Hedden. There's a Mike. There's a couple more people who drove for us, but I can't remember off the top of the names. But used to race back in the day. That's how we got started, and that's where we've been. My grandpa and my dad's really the ones that's kept this racing in our family going.
And like I was just asking him, I know I had asked a couple of people because I really didn't know a whole lot about you beforehand. They said Partain family's been in racing for a long time. Well, just a little backstory on y'all's family and the backstory on y'all's racing.
I guess it really all started back when Grandpa was alive. I don't remember if he ever really drove any, but I do know he owned cars for a long time. He had a bunch of different drivers. I remember Tim Hedden was one. Let's see, Jack Pennington drove for him. A bunch of different drivers. I can't really remember all of them, but it really started with him when Dad got into it. He's got bad vision, so he didn't really stay in it long, whatever. Well, then I can't remember really what they did after Dad got into it, but the next thing I do remember, I don't remember everything off the top of my head, but brother got into it, Adam. He raced 4-cylinder for a while, got into late models, and pretty much never looked back. I got into it, and I guess it's gonna carry on.
Okay. So I learned something the other day at the track, hanging out with you and Brady Cornett. I don't know if Hoyt has anything to do with it, but tell me a little bit about your iRacing career.
I like to think I'm a professional. I like to think I'm this and done on iRacing. No, just a bunch of my buddies from that race around here. We get on every once in a while and play. Douglas Short, Ryan Key, Brady Hunt. He used to race with us. Just a bunch of my buddies from around here. Really, COVID when it took off. I played a lot with a lot of the guys that race like plate models and stuff around here, but they don't really play no more. So I just stick to Douglas and all them. I get on every once in a while. I don't really play as much as I used to. I used to play every night till like 2 in the morning, but now I can't do it no more.
You played it all?
I played it at Brady's house.
So you tried one.
What all you do? I ain't never played it before, so I'm interested if it's worth your time.
Yeah. Well, if you got a lot of time to spare, yeah, it's definitely worth the time. But if not, I wouldn't look into it. No, it's just like this. You race. Get in the server. You have a 15 to 20 minute practice. You get 2 laps qualifying, and you can race from anywhere from 5 laps to 500 laps. If you want to. I mean, it's just pretty cool. I mean, it's really realistic. Like it's a simulator. It's really realistic. Like everything looks real, and now they got tire wear in it now, so that's really cool. A lot of people are starting to get back into it, and they're starting to drive a little more realistically now. So a lot of people are into it.
No, do you get to customize your cars and stuff? Or
Yeah, actually, I got my car, like my real life car in iRacing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you got people that it's a company called Trading Paints.
Yeah,
and there's people that paint cars on it. They take it to Trading Paints, and Trading Paints puts it on there for them. Pretty cool.
right. That's awesome. So, kind of want to talk a little bit. I mean, I'm sure y'all got a bunch, but I want to talk about your sponsors, how they became a sponsor, and just kind of a little bit about that.
I got Sampy Automotive. That's my dad's business. He's stuck with it. He's got to pay for it now. JNC Auto Care, Jason Pritchett, that's my cousin, and he was new to the automotive business, and I was like, hey man, just put your name on the car, and we'll see where it goes. And now he's stuck on it. Yeah, he's been coming back for a couple years now, giving money now, and Summit Road Auto, Ricky Espa, he's from Pennsylvania. I met him on iRacing.
Really?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I met him on iRacing, and he wanted to sponsor, so he sponsored Capital Custom Paint, Tim Crump. He paints all my helmets and stuff for me. If you're looking for a helmet, nice, good prices, does good work. Hoyt's got one of his helmets, does really good work with it.
Little plug.
Yeah, little plug. Test it. Message Tim Crump on it. He gets you set right. Healthy Climate, INC, air and heat. Mitch, he came on this year. Him and my brother, they're real good buddies. I don't really know much about him. And then I have Guy Rample Realty. That's Mr. Dykes. Guy Rample, he's my neighbor. He's and my grandpa were real big buddies. So he sponsors Capital Race Cars, Marshall Green, just the chassis that I run. B&B Race Engines, John, over there with B&B Wallace Motor. If you're in the market for a steelhead motor, B&B, definitely the way to go. Circle of Friends Daycare, just a daycare and go if they wanted to sponsor, wanted to get their name out. So that's what we done. Sherlock.
I don't even remember what it is.
That's Miles. Riverside Angus, Ty Tipton. He was he's my baseball coach in middle school, and him and my brother, they played college ball together. So he's a family friend now, and he sponsored. I'm sure there's a couple more that I'm forgetting. I just hard to remember.
I don't really know who to start off with, but got Prozio Mechanical and Bath. That's Eric Wilford. He helped me out a good bit. Davey Thorpe Plumbing. He helps out a good bit too. We got Roots Hair Salon.
That where you got to get your hair did?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure is. That's my sister, Audrey. Got Swiftco Motorsports, Tim Hedden. He helps us out a good bit. Backwoods Farm, North Burdett, Sherlock Calico, Miles. Crew help. Southern Traditions Woodworking, Ryan Crump. He does a lot of good woodwork. Bailey Farms, Capital Custom Paint, AP Calico, Earl Ramey Racing Engine, Barry Wright Race Cars, Hayes Tire, BMRC, Martin Mifford. He helps us out a good bit. He done a lot of stuff to it whenever I was getting it ready. And he still helps us out a good bit. And I feel like I'm getting some. Jack's RV Repair and Clean's Automatic Starters. I do remember them too. I feel like I'm still forgetting something.
That's all right. For those that didn't get mentioned.
Yeah.
I do want to talk a little bit. I know for me, like, I've always wanted to go to Eldora. What's one race, if you could go to it, you'd love to see? Just one time. If you got one time to go see it. It could be a race they don't do anymore.
Right, you just mentioned it. Eldora. I want to go there. That place looks bad to the bone. Eldora and East Bay. I want to go to East Bay next year. Right before it shuts down. I want to go there next year. Race watch, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they probably had to be Eldora. Rather the Eldora Million. I'd like to go see that person.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to go see that now. Oh yeah. It's gotta be late model.
They flip.
I don't like to see people flip.
So, what are kind of y'all's feelings so far about the season y'all are having this year?
I'm having a terrible season, to be honest with you. I'm having a pretty good season. We've been fortunate enough to win 4. Having a pretty good season.
Brady knows about last year. It was pretty rough. But I think most races, I don't think I've run about 5 or 6 this year. I ain't really been racing much. I think I've run 5 or 6 and finished top 10 most of them. But we just struggling with being too loose or being too free. We're too loose. We can't never get it tight. And then one night we go and it's tight, and we can't never get it back loose. It's just
How it happens.
It's aggravating.
Now, what about? I know I asked David and Kansas. There's one class you could run just one time. What would it be?
Oh, front wheel drive.
That's what everybody says. Look, I'm building one. You can race it the first race. I'll let you. That thing's sharp. Let me show you a picture of it real quick. Adrian's doing the wrap on it. Front wheel drive.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
It's a 02 Chevy Cavalier.
It might not look as pretty as that. You might want to wait a couple races.
That's all right. But what about you?
Probably for goofing off, probably front wheel drive.
Why is it? Just because
you just look at them, they're out there, they're having a blast. Like you see us in the pits, we're all serious, not smiling much, all serious, working on it, trying to get it faster. They're in there, they come in after hot laps, they're there, they smoking cigarettes, they smiling, laughing, cutting up, having a good old time.
Oh yeah.
Just do that one night. It'll be fun.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing Brady says. I mean, they're serious about it, but
I've seen some. They
fight.
They
try to fight.
But you really think of it as when you look at the local front wheel drive drivers. They're serious about it. They put all their money into it. They're here to win, and if they've got to wreck their best friend, whatever they got to do, they're gonna try their best to win.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, you can't really argue with them. I mean, sometimes you want to do the same thing, but we've got $60,000 race cars here. Yeah. They ain't really.
Let me add
they ain't cheap.
I want to drive a pro truck. Some guys look fun.
See, they do look fun, but I don't know. I feel like it's a whole lot different racing truck than it would be.
It probably would be. Let's be fighting this weekend too.
No, because they don't really like me doing that. So I got to keep them happy. They keep me in business. So it was good though. Did you see the guy get tackled behind the tractor?
That video there. He hit his head on the tractor.
Yeah, I mean that was crazy. Did you hear about it? You weren't there.
I heard about it. I've seen some videos, but
and then all of them cops showed up. Nobody even went to jail.
They said one person went.
I mean, the whole city of Tacoma showed up. It was crazy. I don't even know, which I mean, I know because I ain't get into it. Yeah, it was entertaining to watch. I enjoyed it. See, that's the thing. Some races you go to watch a fight and a race like that. It was interesting. So, on that, what's some of your funniest memories of the racetrack?
In the situation then, it wasn't funny. But now after, it's I think it's hilarious. Last year at the beginning of the year, I was leading a race that spun out. I think it's hilarious now.
Yeah.
But then I didn't think so.
Yeah, you're mad.
But I redeemed myself the next night. I wanted to.
Hey, well, that's good. Like you were clear in front and spun out?
I was lap one.
Oh.
I was still out front.
What about you? Dang, that sucks.
It ain't funny, but it is. But probably feels like 487 times I've knocked the spoiler off the dang race car. But it ain't funny at the time because you don't want to do it. It costs a lot of money, but that has to be it. Yeah, it's funny when you look back at it, but it's not funny when you're there and you just done it. Because I've probably knocked 4 or 5 off in the past 2 or 3 years. It ain't fun, but it's funny when you look back at it.
Yeah. How does that happen?
You just kind of, I don't know, you get a little too brave.
It happens.
It sticks on the top, and then you want to just go a little bit farther, and then you go a little too much. That's what I did last time.
Well, at least I don't know if y'all know Red. At least his nickname's Wallbanger. So poor guy. He's getting good. I'm proud of him. He's working on it. But I remember I made fun of him so long, but just because, buddy, I swear, first 5 races he ran is either he spun out or he hit the wall. Poor guy. I felt bad for him.
Hey, my first ever race I spun out too, from the whole field too, at this one store. I was running second. We were coming to like the white flag.
I remember that. I remember that. I was right behind him.
Thing is, if I didn't spin it out, I won the race too. The leader had a flat tire the next lap. I would have won the race too.
Dang. Now, how was y'all's? Well, I guess I know how your first race was. How was your first race ever? You remember it?
Yeah. It wasn't but me and another car. It was Seth Christensen. He drives a lot in asphalt now. It was with him. It was at Livonia. Whatever. Well, no. Not that one. My first race was in like 2018. Somewhere around there, like I said earlier. Yeah, I got spun out like 4 times by the same person. He would go on the start, whatever, go to the top of the track, hit the outside wall, then he'd cut down when I was right there at his bumper. Cut down, hit the inside wall, spin me out. Done it like 4 different times. They yelled at him on the race saver. And then I think he finally had to pull in.
The kid used to be pretty good too.
He got pretty good though.
He used to be really good. He quit all of a sudden. His dad's still racing.
What's your favorite track to drive at? I mean, I'm assuming what's your favorite track you've ever driven at?
Favorite track to race on was probably Charlotte. That was racy. We got there Thursday and we made 2 laps, and they told us we couldn't nobody could practice no more. So we made 2 laps Thursday. Then Friday we don't hot lap nothing. We go strictly straw and run heat race. I started dead last in my heat race. I drove up to 3rd, then I ended up 4th. Me and Cheeseburger had Brian Mullis been a pretty good race, and then the feature hit blacked over slick. It was fine. We started 15th, got up on the top, got up on the wheel, got up to like 4th, and then we had to restart, and pulled a Hoyt, hit the wall, and went back to 5th. Ended up 5th.
About you, Hoyt?
I haven't raced that, but Hartwell, Livonia, and Tacoma. Hartwell was probably my favorite because, I don't know, that was just something about it. I knew how to get around it. I still ain't figured Livonia out yet. I've only made 6 laps at Tacoma, so.
Everybody does say Livonia's different to race at.
It's for some reason different for me. Like,
you just had 2 totally different corners.
Yeah. That's the biggest part of it. I can get around 3 and 4 pretty good most nights, but 1 and 2, I don't know. It's just I blow the corner every time. But if it's around the bottom, around that place, then most of the time I'm good. But if it's around the top, I struggle bad.
Have you ever had any bad wrecks or anything yet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's hear a story behind that. Everybody likes hearing about wrecks. I don't know why people are messed up in the head, but
It's not fun to be in. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
But it was a 5,000 win race in Livonia 2 years ago, I think. And we should have loaded up. We were terrible. We were junk. We started. I think we had to. I went and talked my way into the race. I started 29, and first lap they all piled up. I missed it. I'm up to 15, and we're racing. We come back there. It's 5, 6 laps to go. And David McCoy, his right front locks up. He goes shooting into the wall. He bounces out. Cody Pritchett hits him. I hit Cody head on. And somehow I spin backwards and hit McCoy. And here comes where everybody's just flipping.
I ain't really had many bad wrecks. I mean, I guess probably the worst one I've been in. I caused it myself. Brady got under me. I could hear somebody under me, and it was especially bottom or top. They wasn't really no middle there. It was just slick. Didn't have no grip. So I heard somebody on the inside. So I had to choose cut him off or go to the top. Well, I went to the top, and apparently I got the loose stuff. Did a little 360, and a bunch of cars came piling in on me, and smoke come out, and I thought it was on fire or something, so I got out of there. It scared me real bad because I was sitting. No, it didn't scare me that bad, but I was sitting there backwards watching 4 cars bunched up come straight to me. So I just closed my eyes, let go of the wheel, and when I stopped moving, that's when I opened my eyes and seen smoke coming out. And yeah, I got out, run to the pits, took the helmet off. For some reason, I guess I had a hot flash. I was hot. So I had to get out of the racing suit as soon as I could.
I remember that night. We were under like red flag for 20 minutes because there was a fight in the pits. That was the night that got into it. Seegers and them got into it with what the monster street car that Jim's driving. That one car they got into it in the pits that night.
Oh yeah, it was probably that night that you you said Seegers. Yeah, my bad. Yeah. But it probably was that night because it was probably somewhere around that year that it happened.
Yeah, because I remember I started. Yeah, that's my first regular 602 race.
Yeah.
Yeah, we raced like crazy, and somehow he spins out. And
So you saw, well, you probably didn't say much of my head.
I redeemed myself the next night. I went and won my first late model race at Hartwell the next night, so I felt a lot better after that.
I ran 15 that night. That's okay.
Now, what do y'all, how y'all feel about Hartwell closing down?
You really hate any racetrack closing down. I mean, I wasn't personally a fan of Hartwell. Like, I wasn't that good there. But you hate any racetrack, like, especially in the area that you grew up going to. Like, I grew up at Hartwell. I remember me and Hoyt playing in the daggone pits with little matchbox cars, just, building us a little racetrack. And, I mean, you definitely hate that for any track for that to happen to, like, around here. It's not a good thing for racing right now. And the cost is up, and the payout of the racetrack's down.
Yep, that's what David and Kenny were talking about last time they were on the podcast. Like, it's the same thing. Or you got any?
Just like he said, you hate to see one close down in your area that you grew up at. But that was probably my favorite track out of the 3 that I've raced at. That was my favorite one. Other than the fact that it was just one groove track, it was still my favorite because, I just knew how to get around there. I raced there pretty much every weekend. I raced at Livonia a decent bit. I run a bunch of races at Livonia, but I run a lot more at Hartwell. I felt like it should have been harder to get around Hartwell than it is Livonia, but it was flip-flop.
And that's like, it irritates me now, them running on the same night. Because I feel like, I don't know, that we should support each other. The track should support each other and work it out, I feel like.
Yeah, it's just like, what was the holiday last time? Memorial Day?
Yeah.
Memorial Day, Livonia ran on Friday and Dakota ran on Sunday.
Yeah.
Livonia had 120 race cars that Friday, and Dakota had, 130? Yeah. Something like that?
There was a good many of those.
There was a lot of
more than regular.
And, like, most of them, like, a lot of them that was there is from our area. Like, that's the most cars I've seen from our area all the year. And that shows that both racetracks could race on Friday and Saturday and even out.
Oh, yeah. Now, that's like, I think Winder ran that Sunday, didn't they?
Winder ran Saturday and Dakota ran Sunday, but Winder got ran out that Saturday, so they ran Monday.
That's right. Now, have you ever raced at Winder? Now, what do you feel the same way? Need to work together?
Yeah, I kind of do, but I mean, I do think they should support each other. Livonia run on Friday, but I mean I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
More people's off work on Saturday, so more people can come on Saturday. So I get that part, but I mean, I guess
it just sucks because it's just a tough situation, but maybe it'll work itself out. Now, y'all racing this upcoming weekend?
Yeah.
At the Boney? Yeah. Y'all racing? Go too?
Yeah. Because I've been too good lately.
Yeah, I guess.
You left last week, didn't you? Just got tired or what?
Not racing on the corn flip.
Yeah, I understand.
But yeah, I guess we're gonna try to go to Livonia again. Try it out. I don't think I've raced in close to a month. But my brother ran last weekend. He started 10th and finished 4th.
He did good. I was there. Yeah, I was videoing. He did good.
I really don't know how he did that because, I mean, just the racing these days, you just don't see that a lot. But I mean, he done it. I mean, if anybody's gonna be the one out of me and him to do it, it's gonna be him. I'll say that for sure.
Now, we'll end it here in a few minutes, but I do want to talk about just like some local drivers around here that y'all raced with. Is there any that have went further than just driving locally that y'all you became buddies with and that you're just happy to see it had success?
I got 3 that I can think of off the top of my head that I'm pretty good buddies with. David McCoy, Freeman, they helped out a lot. Me and Peyton.
See, I've never met. That's who I want to try to get on a podcast one day. Peyton,
Kenny Collins. Those are the 3 that I really that went farther than just racing locally.
See, David was one of the first people that I put an in-car camera in for.
Yeah.
Got to meet him. He's awesome. Everybody thinks he's. I don't know.
David, he's cool.
Yeah, when you meet him, he's awesome.
But I mean, probably the same 3 for me. I mean, I can't really think of no other that's local raced around here and went super racing. I really can't think of none.
Now, what's your, besides the class you run, what is your favorite class to watch?
Front wheel drive all day.
Yeah, it's gotta be front wheel drive or stock 8.
What about that doesn't race regularly? Say like sprint cars, stuff like that. Still front wheel drive?
No, okay. So I'm big into watching like midget speed week and chili bowl and stuff, and those are bad to the bone.
Oh yeah.
Like if somebody out there watching got a midget, hit me up. I want to drive one. Let me drive one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's what. See, I don't know. I just ain't never been in sprint cars though.
Not the lean cars. The midgets,
those are cool.
Or they race like you get late models. You might see 1 or 2 slide jobs, and midgets every corner.
Oh yeah.
You get a slide job 3 or 4 of them at a time.
But I mean, pretty much the same thing. Midgets. Basically every day I watch Facebook reel that Brian Repco puts up. Like every week, I watch it every day because it's just slide job after slide job, blasting the top, hitting the wall. I mean, yeah. I used to watch him a lot too. He's funny.
I hear you. Well, I think it's been a good podcast. Anything else y'all want to say? Anybody else y'all want to thank before you get off?
No, I just want to thank you for asking us to come join this.
Oh man, I appreciate it. I'm glad y'all came out. We've been working on this episode for a while. I've had to cancel. Everybody's had to cancel. It's just we finally got our plans to all work out. But
yeah.
I want to thank you, Hoyt and Brady, for coming on, and I want to thank Mike's Wholesale Flooring again for sponsoring the podcast. But we'll see y'all next week. Just give us comments on some questions and other drivers y'all would want to see on here because that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Just more drivers to have on. So just don't forget to keep updated with us and see what we got going on.